Okay, so we did this plain kind of wheel, which isn't too bad, but we could definitely have done more with this. So, and to do more with it, we got to keep a couple things in mind. One, we're going to draw totally different. And I'm not measuring much. I'm just kind of going off of instincts here. So first thing I'm going to do is I know the wheel is 0.57. That is the width of my wheel, and I'm just going to change that into a center line. Second, I'm going to have to be bouncing back and forth here just to see how far some of these dimensions are. So I'm going to go look just quick. One 0.340. Okay. So going back, I'm going to do 1.340 as my first dimension, and I'm going to come right on up. Right here, I'm going to dimension that 1.340, verifying that it is correct. Yep. Okay. So that is correct. Make sure that this line is always equal to this line. I'm going to add myself some construction lines here just to keep things in place. Keep things nicey nice. There we go. Construction. Okay, so I got my two construction lines. I'm going to get this out of the way because I don't need it anymore. And where do you go from here? Well, we know we can also go up here, and we've got these two kind of things going on. So I know I got these two going on. Now the distance between them is 0.4, and I need to go back to look at what the thickness of them was. 0.085, that's how thick, and they're 0.3 tall, 0.03 tall. Okay, so I know they're 0.03 tall. 0.03 tall. Both of these guys 0.03, and it's 0.085 wide. So that should be the same. Okay, so I've got those. I've got this. I don't really need that line. And this obviously had some thickness to it. If we were doing it the other way, they sort of had the thickness right here of 0.0 or 0.1, maybe it was 0.1. I don't even know if it's that thick. I'm gonna go back and look in the original sketch. 0.05, so half that thickness. 0.05. Okay, so I've got things going on here, which is all good. Now, the last thing I've got is, what's the central? 440. If I open up just real quick, I made that axle recently. Let's see, what was my dimension on my axle? I just want a quick look at what my dimension. So this is the side of the axle that actually goes in. You know, that diameter there, that's a little 2.9, a little more than, that goes into the auto block, so this side is up to 4. So this is the part that actually goes in right here, and that's 3.0. So that's what I'm going to set it as. So 3.0, and then I'll set the other side of it to be whatever thickness I need. So let's see, is that what the inside diameter on this guy was? Yeah, I kind of like it more that this is 3. That's going to change everything, so we won't worry about it now. I think the problem is this rim is based for the older axle, or the newer axle. So I'm just going to do this off of the same thing. It's okay if it's a little loose. So I'm just going to draw my line across for here. We'll be consistent, 0.44, and we will get a thickness just like it did before of 0.05, and we're just gonna line these up. Nice thing is it will still, if we insert it, still fit. No, I just can't do it. I'm gonna change it to 0.3 so I know it'll fit good, which is fine. And just when I go back, I'll make a note in the video to fix that somehow. Okay, so anyway, we got this. Now we've got to do something to connect these. That's nice and fancy and all that. And what I do know, you can kind of do whatever you want for this. Doesn't really matter. Like, I'm gonna go down here, make kind of a line going up here. I'm just gonna throw random dimensions on it, because I'm just trying to make something a little fancier. So we'll say 0.1. We're gonna throw a coincidence point where this line is gonna hit this. Then I'm gonna throw a dimension on this line. I'm not going to do that yet. Not yet. I will. 0.1, put a coincidence there. Maybe arc looks a little bit chaotic. I'll do 0.05. And I'm just gonna bend this guy right here. I'm just gonna throw an arc on. It's just gonna come in at an arc. I'm gonna do the arc at 0.2. And this will let me kind of decide when I go in and I'm going to tangent it. Boom. See that? That makes it nice. So the arc is 0.2. I did a tangent on it. And I'm just going to throw a dimension so I know in the future what this will be. So I don't want one of those. I want from the base point to that point. And it's 426, and we just accept that. I'm going to offset this in, and I'm going to offset it in so it is from there to there the same thickness pretty much as everything else, 0.05. And I'm just going to come and I'm going to draw a line out. I'm just going to tangent it. Tangent. I don't even care if yours matches mine, because now we're going to go in and we're going to do the big trim. Trim, 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 trim. Whoop. That one we didn't want to trim yet. We wanted to delete this first. Continue with our trims. Oops. Trim, trim. It is not going to let us delete that. That's okay. You know what? We're going to go back We're not going to trim that at all because I don't believe we have to. We'll just trim here because we don't need this line or this line anymore. And that should be good. This should all work for me. So I'm going to hit finish sketch, and hopefully when I go to revolve, I can select everything I want to revolve, which I can. And I just want to extrude it on this axis. Yes. And if I flip it around, we're in the same boat as we were before, where I have to make a sketch on this top edge. Okay. And it is like literally the same boat we were in before. And I can hit F7 again to kind of show me what I'm looking at, what I'm working with. I can unclick X7. So like right here, I'm just going to project the geometry on that line because that is where that curvy bit ends. And I'm just going to come right up to the top again. I'm going to draw the same circle I did on the other one. I'm going to make sure I'm going up. That same 0.5 circle. And I'm going to draw a circle here because I think this is what gave me problems last time. I'm going to trim what I don't need. I'm going to circular pattern this, boom, boom, on this here axis 5 times. I'm going to get rid of associative. I'm going to hit finish sketch. And then I'm going to extrude all 5 of these. Boom, 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 boom. Cut. I'm going to cut the other way. Just spin so I can see. I'm going to cut both ways. Yes. I'm going to cut through both ways. Through all. So I'm just going to cut both ways through all. So now I got a little bit of bend on my thing. That's a little fancier. It looks like I didn't get quite the cut I was hoping for there on the bottom section. I'm going to go back to my extrusion. Why did you not cut through all? Ah, I didn't go both ways. Through all both ways. There we go. Yes, this is much nicer now. Now I've got a real fancy looking vehicle. And I can go and I can do fillet. We do not want to fillet that much. This is going to be a very small fillet. Ever so slight. But I can do it on every face probably. .003. 2. 1. Anything? It won't let me do it. It says I cannot do it on these outside faces right here. Not really sure why. Let me see. I want to fillet you. I guess it's probably because it's coming into here. That's about as small as I can get to, so it's not going to happen. Okay, which is fine with me. I can just go and try to fillet the rest maybe. So go here and here, 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 and here. And I'm just going to fillet them. Try 0.05. See what happens. Let's fillet these. Yes, 0.05. Now that looks pretty fancy, except for this one right here. And this one right here. Those ones look like they didn't quite get the same treatment as all the others. Wonder why. Well, anyway, there you have it. Huh. This I can't explain. And if stuff like that bothers you, then you are like me in that respect, because I don't understand why that one little bit is not getting grabbed when it is the same as it is on all the other sides. If you look, they're all the same. They shack the same, so that is kind of glitchy. Perhaps if I dial it back a notch, and that seems to work. But it shouldn't be that way. They should all react the same way. But whatever. So I'll go grab all of them. 0.04, and then I will just do the color, and whatever, like kind of silvery color maybe you want. Your choice. You can also go to like properties and do chrome, if it'll let me do a chrome. Yeah, it did it. So it is chromey now. Not the best, not the worst. Kind of just a simple way to do the rim. So, 2 ways to do the rim. And this one's a little more funky than the other one, but they'll both work. So, File, save as, T9 complex rim.